Alrighty then. Let's see here. We are on screen 1. Alright, great. Still screwing around with defrag things. As you do, I've made some things. I'm going to make more things. And to any competent modeler, that's going to be disastrous to look at. That's fine. So, this is the palette that I was working on. I have a thing which we're going to put over there. Okay. And I'm going to be referencing a lot of Quake probably as well. This guy can go. Yes. Okay, so save this. Go back. I've been doing a lot of research on defrag and stuff as well, and been looking up some guides, and totally haven't thrown everything out yet, so that's great. Let me just arrange some things a bit better. Right. So, because I've done some things, this is a first room, this is a second room. And the issue, of course, is that we have jetpacks, so we have to, because you can just fly over this. So, let's get situated again. So this is still not lagging. I'm going to put you over there. Sure. There we go. Wow, look at me being organized. Anyway. So this, yeah, this spawn point needs to be different. Or really a spawn point. So, because what you can do is, of course, fly over. Fly over. Huzzah. Wonderful. That, of course, wouldn't be very fast now, would it? So, also don't have kill volumes in this yet. So yeah, because you want to jump off this, jump off that, the momentum, and then run into that, for instance. So I do wonder with a wall jump and to increase in speed and stuff. So that's been interesting. I'm gonna grab this guy and group him so I can put him over there as well. Probably. Yeah. Because this is just open right now, right? So I don't want to do hey, our mapper man, make us a map tonight. Yeah. So look, this is the one I made last time, right? The dodgy corners and then the upwards thing. And I said, fuck it. I made a lot of puzzle pieces. And this is now what it is. So I'll run it down again. Because I've done a lot of research on the whole defrag thing. So here, you can jump down there. I've made these little pillows. I don't know what I'm thinking. But the thing is, so we've got this middle piece. You can just basically fly over this, get up here and get up there, and do that. Right? There's a second entry point, which I don't know will ever be relevant, but I thought using the pillars that Jim Christ made as wall blockers, basically. So if you're wall riding, you're gonna run into that, right? And then here, I still need to fix that because that's a wall. It shouldn't be there. Yeah, so we've got this point there and this here. I thought this was a nice little division thing. I did this off stream because I was experimenting a lot. One thing that I've noticed though, so you can wall ride on the convex pieces, kind of, if you help it a little bit, so that's nice. But I do think, I mean, I don't know, right now, wall riding is nice and all, but I would like to have a bit more staying power on it, because now you just fall down. Because also, I need to ask Neo, because you literally immediately fall off the moment you hit any sort of slope. So the tolerance is at 0 right now, and I know he made a thing. I know he did for a little bit more tolerance on the wall ride, so you might be able to get to this point maybe. Not much, like a degree or so, which would give a lot of help. And then here as well, I would like it that we could actually stick to the... Oh no, glitchy textures. We can stick to the wall a little bit more. Because right now, we just fall, right? And that's not great. Yeah. Now you do need to have your jets working all the time. So I have the desire and the urge to constantly destroy all of this and start over. Because I look at... there's this thing in my brain that is not allowing me to make it the way I see it in my brain, kind of thing. So this, I don't know. You can even boost off of these corners, but there's a lot of... That's one of the rules actually that I read about defrag, some rules from like 2005 or something. Don't change your map. Once you've done it and people figure out to finish your map in 2 seconds, well, make a new one, right? Don't change it, because people are going to find exploits. That's what the whole game type is about, right? I'm just gonna do this. Yeah. So these are things that I'm worrying about, even though this is my first map, and for all first maps need to be shit by definition. So yeah, I'm gonna try and not destroy these parts, you know, and just move on. And that's what we're about to do. So I'm getting up here, I'm getting up here. This I want to replace with one of these, because I like the little stagger thing, but this piece does not agree with me, so I made a new one. I learned some things on the map making front as well. Oh, this is a wonderful thing. Look, it does absolutely nothing. In terms of tools, like modeling tools, I looked into that a little bit more because I forgot about the fact that we now have... Wait, why is it gone? Oh, I have to activate these. You can actually... I had ignored these. Now, why are you not working? Come on. Literally, I've been using this all morning. And now it doesn't want to work on this. Why? That's incredible. I was using these in the other map. Huh? Why don't they work? What? I legitimately went to the other map and it worked there. Is it because I need select objects enabled? Huh? What did I do? What did I change? I went live. That's what I changed. Disable select objects only. No. I want this. Huh? I was experimenting with this earlier. So what's going on? In selection it disappears, so I need modeling tools. Object selection. I can do the insert loops, but that activates the thing. Huh? No. I had this enabled earlier. Doesn't do that either. Okay, I'm freaking out. Yeah, I'm having a UA moment. I literally I've been using these new tools the whole fucking day. And I will go live. I haven't even saved or closed Unreal. Hi? Yeah, because that's why what did I change? Lit flags? No. I'm looking for so the mesh polygroup select thing, right? So you can do this, right? But you can do it outside a polygroup edit. I know this because you can do all of these, right? That works. But here you can also do them with then the select tools and offset and push pull and do all these things straight into the mesh. And because there's a button here, disable mesh element selection, objects only, right? That's a thing. So you disable it by default. And then you can select by triangle, by edges, right? Doing nothing. Or by mesh polygroups, borders or edges, because then you can put loops in. And I've been doing this. That's why I didn't go live to stream earlier this morning, because I was experimenting with this. Because that's how I made this thing, for instance. And this thing as well. I made a pillar, hurrah. And now it doesn't work anymore. So, okay, fine. You got me. Sure. Anyway. Does it work now? Do I have to turn my back? I'm not looking, I'm not looking. No, okay. Fine. Choose level, recent levels, palette. So we've got this thing. We have palette, which is good because I want to go in here. So yeah, I made like a whole new thing here. I need to go wider and like flatter because we have a jetpack. Having a jetpack is a real bitch. But that's why we made these. Oh wow, it's bigger in person. So this is 16, that's good. These I want to use later, but I'm not gonna do that yet. Because there are pillars, and pillars are good for against the whole jetpack situation. Because I kind of want to, because look at these, I've been using these as well. Yeah, you can be happier. Yeah, it's because I was playing around so much. I'm like, oh fuck, it's like 3 o'clock, and then it took me another hour to actually go live because I don't want to do most of the tool experimentation live on stream because then angry people arrive and going like, you don't know how to fucking do anything. It's like, yeah, no, that's 100% correct. I am a fucking noob. And then, no. I felt a little self-conscious yesterday because... Oh, I had to... Here's another UE thing. Look at that. Well, you know what that is? That's because I've got snapping turned on, but the vertex snapping is still on. So if that's still on, then it still does... Yeah. You can never truly turn off snapping unless you kill it. So this needs to be kind of centered. So I'm going to use the cubers. So this is 12, 13, let's call it 14. And there's 13 here. So 13 and 14. Great. So we want this to be 1 over there. Then that is correct, right? 13 and 4. So it was correct. 13 to start. 13 to start. No, it's correct. Okay. So this is a pillar. Hello, everyone. Say hi to pillar. Go. And... yeah, I do need to invent things like little dips that you go under and stuff. And do things that would annoy the shit out of anyone who's playing Triumphs. So, yeah. Because just having that guy there is already a thing. I sort of also want to do this. We do this to half. And do this. Oh, actually, it's kind of cool when it's like... Alright, that's fine. Yeah, the move disable stuff is gonna help. Probably for, like, just putting, like, energy to 0 and stuff. Is probably enough. So I kind of want this to be... around here-ish. So that's 8. Hey, look at that. That was well measured. And then this guy wants to be around here. Okay, so around, was it here? I like using cube grid for measurements. Oh, watcha. So now we have a little less movement here. Yeah. By the way, Nagada, do you know by heart? Don't worry if you don't. So the behavior here. Look. So we've talked about, you know, hang time on wall riding and stuff, so that, you know, if you're wall riding, you don't immediately fall the fuck down, but you get some sort of stick to it, right? Although a little bit, not too much, because then it becomes a little overpowered. Doesn't matter for defrag, but then for other purposes. But the one thing, Neo said there was like a button, a value for wall stick and the angle. Like, because the moment it's not 90 degrees, you just stop, right? Which I want that to have maybe a 5 or 10 degree that you could still do a little bit, because now it's a little jarring. But I know he did a thing for that. He increased the tolerance before, but I don't know if it survived mover. So yeah, so these are pillars. These pillars, by the way, are absolute bitches to run into, because they're going to always deflect you somehow. I wonder if you can even... yeah, you can reverse in there. You can actually use these to reverse. That's great. That kind of stuff. Like, this isn't like high-tech modeling things, but just applying it to movement is like one of the biggest things. Yeah. So. And then deflect off of these. Move in here. Get in there, try to get, and then not fuck that up, which I did, right? So you've got these little dips. These little precision dips that you have to like thread the needle. Like probably I want to like have ones where there's a wall there as well, and there's a dead stop. Like going up, I think it's less than 90, but the second you hit the curvature at the top, it gets away from 90 very quick. Probably. Open up BB Hero Medium and we can check. Right, it'll be the Gladiator, right? Or is it still inherited? Because I feel like eye height, I'm losing it at here. So yeah. Anyway. So BP Hero. Wait, am I in the wrong folder again? Why is M4 blueprints removed from favorites? That's not the one I want. BP Hero Medium. So I'm guessing it's 1P, medium 1P, because there's no Gladiator here. Control P. Right, I'm just going Gladiator. BP Gladiator. I'm guessing it's just, it's not Hero, it's just BP Gladiator, yeah. Righty. So. And what did you say? Movement. There's a lot of shit in here, dudes. Maybe wall? Something wall related? Wall running tilt angle. Oh, that's how camera. Never mind. Impulse, additive wall speed, multi-magnetism, skiing, velocity, ski. Wall angle 3. All right, let's put that to 10. Good. Wall ski magnetism. I'm guessing that is the stickiness. Wall ski gravity multiplier. Maybe we put that. Now we're here. You've shown me things you shouldn't have. Wall ski gravity Z molt. I have no idea what that is. I'm just gonna fuck with it. There we go. This is how. Yeah, you shouldn't. Was that good what I did? Did I compile it? There we go. Let's find out. Oh, crap. Alright. Still works. So that means. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, it's not immediate. Oh, I ran out of energy there. I want to see how different this thing is now. Yeah. Oh dear. I already feel like things are weird. Alright. Shouldn't do anything to skiing, but yeah, I fall a lot. I think I need to toggle the knob the other way because I feel like I fall harder now. Okay, but this is better. This isn't like immediate. It's a little bit. Alright. A little bit of tolerance. Yeah, oh wait, I'm pressing forward, aren't I? Yeah, I've increased the gravity. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's just... So the gravity multiplier... Apparently... Gravity Z mult, that's it. So it multiplies the gravity. So I don't want that. I want that to be 0.8 maybe. Because there's gravity Z mult and gravity mult. I'm guessing this is... Yeah, I get it. So I'm going to be very careful with that one. And the gravity mult, I do want that lower, right? Because I want to stick to the wall a bit more, not necessarily go up, but stick. Yes? Yes. Okay, we agree. That's good. You see? It's good to have that conversation when streaming. It's nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see? I can coast a bit more on the walls. That's good. I like that. It's not incredible, but it's a tiny little change that you can before you have to like intervene with the jets, right? I'm not using any jets. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit. I just want little adjustments, right? Because this is on barely any sort of momentum. We'll have to see if... Hang on, let me... Yeah, I'll do that later. Hang on. So, and now the Z mult is just a little bit of climbing, I guess. That's not too bad either. A little bit of boost. Okay, let me just go outside here for a sec. And actually see what this does. Yeah, even with... It's not awful, right? And I am allowed to go up a little bit, you see? That's not a lot. But once I'm on the wall, I can still climb a tiny bit. Okay. No, that's like 0.5, 0.10 sort of changes, right? So that's fine. Can I even get in here? Right. Hey, Goat Nova. The Goat Nova. You have an idea for a flag stand now? Oh no. Lumberjack's getting in the business of modeling. Yeah. Right. So, go away. I'm just gonna alt tab in. So let's go meet over here again. I think maybe 10% is not enough yet. Because it's like literally the start, right? I can... The thing is, I wanted... But the point I wanted to do this so I can still, like, enter the danger zone a little bit, but still wall jump. Right? So do that. That's good. Oh wow, these are bitches. I love them. You don't want to touch these in any sort of capacity because they're completely unpredictable. It's great, because you'll get jumped off, or you get hooked into them and then like deflect. See, that's great. You can try a wall jump. Those are the kind of things that defraggers want, right? Little, yeah, because here as well, if you jump off, these bevels are dangerous. Very dangerous bevels, because they'll just dodge you off. If you want to land on the pan and just jump off, That's fine. If you hit the edge, you're gone. So that's great. Yeah, I need to remove this guy. Okay, Mr. Blueprint, you can go over there now, please. Thank you. So what is this? You are a big version of this, so you can go. This is still that edge. And, let's let you disappear into the wall. Kind of don't want to deal with this right now. Too much on details. So, because we have another thing to do. So we've got pillars here now. Just fab. Maybe I want, for aesthetic purposes, also these pillars here. Yeah, you will. Doesn't really matter where they're going. There we go. It's fine. Yeah. That's fine. This, I think the little change I made is good. One moment, please. Excuse me. All right. So we've got this, we've got the dip, we've got this. Now we're here, right? What I wanted to do immediately is after this, I just put it back, or I can turn it 90 degrees, right? Just go into my palette here, which is this thing. And I think that's the full half pipe. This is the quarter pipe. Yes, I want to get everything on track, because one thing I've learned, what I don't want to be doing is fucking around on a 45-degree angle. Completely pointless. So, idea in Discord. Uh-oh. I will not show the world. I'm not ready. Okay. Yeah. So, funny, because I've been screwing around with this guy this morning, which of course comes in 2 pieces. Oh, he doesn't do the rotation. That's kind of sad. So, you know, on the map they're mirrored. Mirror X, yes, there you go. I like these things because ramps are boring. Ramps are always boring, right? What? I can't believe it doesn't fit. What? Oh, it does. Okay. Ramps are always boring, so I'm always looking to make ramps more cool. And then I have this kind of thing. Slot into a wall or something. Yeah. Set scale to 1 on an angle, yeah. Then I have to go into details and then do it is just -1, right? So it's yeah. True. Yeah. I'll leave these here because I might need them later. So right. So defrag thing goes up here or goes down there. That's fine. I'm not gonna screw around with that. I just need to make sure that, so we're on a 45-degree angle. That's already 45 back, so I need this as well to be... Oh, did I... This is not good. This is... Because if my calculations are correct, Then this ends us that one. So we go 45 here. And then through the magic, turn. We need to be straight or full curve here. Okay. Yeah, you could, I mean, with these guys, you basically have that, right? You just put a curve in there, and that's it. That's why, like, technically, these aren't very difficult assets to make, of course, but like the scaling and comparisons and what you can do with them is kind of important. So, because this is just now 8 by 1600, which is already kind of huge. But in defrag that doesn't matter because you're expected to go fast, and well, a lot of our game that will be the same. Yeah. So one thing that does keep fucking me up is like grid-based stuff. There we go. That should be good. It's always like a little bit. Shouldn't matter too much. Alright, so we do this. You go there, you go there. Now just go that way, I guess. I think I want to make this one bigger. Let's do 3 and 3. Slot that in there. I'm not gonna fuck around with the transitions too much. Waste far too much time on those little details. There we go. Good enough. Wall, wall, floor. These turned. Yeah, they're on 45. So do this, go here. That's a wall. We don't really want to make this interesting. We just want you to get out of here. And then a thing. So let's see what we can do here. This is still floating. So all of this, what are you? You're the previous one, you can go. This is the top of that. So we can just extend these. Okay. Better off Twitch, yeah. I promote the Twitch because it's a, well, who knows, one day I might get enough viewers and chats to activate their arbitrary, like, gamifications. But yeah. Did I screw that up? Yeah. Don't do that. There. It's better. Ah, so do I even need this? No, I don't. Okay. So that's here, that's here, that's here, that's here. We go up here. A bit of a snafu here. Let's do... Doesn't work. Great. 100 or 50. Yeah, enough. Zoom. Okay. Yeah. I still want to keep the option of like keeping a Twitch channel active. And maybe one day do something with it, but that's me personally. That's not even got to do with Broadside. The sad truth is that for work, I'm probably going to have to start doing some influencer things as well to keep us relevant in the scene, because everything, especially when it comes to antiques and stuff, is now fully, let's call it, optimized in terms of social media. I really didn't want to do it, but the thing is, it's a little ironic because I've tried to become a YouTuber slash personality a few times now in my career. Never really stuck because I always pick dead games or games that are destined to die. Hey, first StarCraft and then Quake and then Tribes. Like the moment I chose the game, it's like Blizzard. No! Yeah. Okay, so what are we doing here? I want to keep I want to bring this back on the track. So I want to equalize this out. This is now on an angle. These guys aren't, right? They are not. So we're coming out here, and we kind of on track again. Thank you for your emoji. That means a lot to me. So the truth of it is, I need to find a way to cleanly transition back into these guys. Right. So yeah. How can I do that? I'm just gonna boolean this. It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be a lot of hate. But that's what's gonna happen. So let's grab on these. And I think what I want to do is half this. With, what are we on? I'll have to use 50. Things I don't want to waste time on for 500, Alex. Yeah. This ain't even fucking centered. Is that true? If I grab this guy and I were to like rotate him 45? No. This is indeed offset. Okay, great. So put you back in your place, which was Control End. There you go. That did fuck all, but thanks. Did that just move? Yeah. What am I doing? It's back! It's working somehow! It's back! The functions! Look! Suddenly it works again. And Dagger's gone, he's never gonna believe me. Look, I can do offsets and insets and stuff. Look all the things I can do. Directly into the mesh. It works. Now I don't need it to work. Go away. Fuck. Oh yeah, baby. Fully functional. Christ on the mic. Right, am I using the duplicates? I am, okay. Alright, because this... Gonna be smart. SMRT. No, you actually need to rotate this one. I do. This one is not on the grid, is it? No, it's being weird. Okay. So even, yeah, this is not gonna work. Okay, great. Cool. Why? So is nothing here on the grid? Gonna have a heart attack. So we need to, okay. Yeah. So that's one thing I was thinking about, by the way, Nick Max. The ones like the 21 video is good. The 2016 one, and I've been watching all. Well, I'm trying to actually hunt down the maps, and I have found some of them, but I don't know how to get them to work on 2000 on Quake Live right now. So because this guy here, for instance, are just the walking pieces. That's the kind of stuff I want. Of course, adjusted for jetpack stuff. And just hallways in general, right? But, so yeah, I've been watching a lot of these guys. And the idea is we don't need as many rocket jumps anyway because of the jets in the wall running. I do want an impulse weapon, like a chain gun. That's something I do want. That works that way. So you can like maybe like have little like plasma jump stuff happening to boost you here and there, which would be nice. But yeah. How do I get this back on track is what I'm wondering. Wait. This is a duplicate still? No. It's not. I want to duplicate. I just made the duplicates. Are you still in? Yeah, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna force through it. There we go. You are now a thing. And I'm just going to plane cut it. There's so many things that you can do. Right, 45. There we go. Accept. So now, they'll need you. I will grab you. And 45 you again, and then think McFly, I think. It's also not gonna work. Yeah, tiny AoE radius of impulse. And because is LJ still here? Because we need to be very quiet if he is. An impulse disc, and I was thinking there's two options, either a chain gun, but maybe easier would be the lightning gun, and give the lightning gun on impact a tiny little AoE impulse, because that shit is still here. We can't talk about having specific weapons for this game mode. But honestly, the Quake lightning gun does have impulse, right? So it wouldn't be a bad idea to experiment with it in the actual game as well. Because you want to, the pushing of the lightning gun is one of the strongest things. If somebody is above you in Quake or falling down, you can pin them against the wall. We maybe don't want that extreme of an effect, but just being able to push someone and yourself a little bit. That also makes it that, because I've made, actually it's on ClickUp, but nobody, my little defrag checklist thing is I want a sniper rifle with bullets, so you can shoot a target from wherever, how far away you want it, because the rail has a limited range for balance reasons. We don't need balance in defrag, so just a bullet shooting unlimited sniper like the rail in Quake would be great. With that, maybe a bullet-based LG, like exactly the one in Quake, with the impulse, making it our plasma rider, right? Yes, that was another thing. Like the no damage disc could be compensated with pickups and with shield packs or invulnerability pickups, right? Can a chain gun not do that inaccurate? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The chain gun is optimized for long range stuff. It has the spread, it has the heat up, and all that. The lightning gun is just pulse, 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 right? And it is short range. You don't need range because you need it at your feet. Then switching that to a bullet weapon might be better. I'm fine with it being energy based as well, but we're already using a lot of, and optimizing energy. The whole reason for plasma being a thing is for those longer stretches, right? That it's more about technique keeping you going than using resources. Oh, the chain gun, yeah, same thing. The whole shoot a thing at range, it's better to have like the line beam. It feels better. It's louder than just having a from the chain gun. Yeah, there you go. I've thought about these things for years. Yeah. Good. This is exactly the same as it would be, and I realize as well that if I were to turn this, then it would be too long, right? Because it's the diameter. So... But this would mean it is straight again. So that's nice. I'm gonna have to do some fucking geometry here, aren't I? The hypotenuse is with us. Alright. That's not what I want to do. Actually, I didn't want to rotate it at all. We'll do the little trick here by just putting a minus here. That's an equal sign. There you go. That does work a lot faster than fucking around with the UI, holy crap. And then we're just gonna pretend this doesn't exist because it's out of bounds anyway. So that's great. No, it wouldn't be hit. Well, it would be just a sniper, right? It doesn't have to be hit scan. It can still have a distance. It's just a sniper, right? It's just a sniper, but it's on bullets. That's it, instead of energy. Because here's the thing, right? If it is the sniper as is, then we have for every moment, which granted is another complexity, right? That's another level of skill. For every shot that you expect the player to use the sniper, you would need to have a mega energy pack, right? Because you would need to have enough. Yeah, okay. So, because the map I'm thinking of, but I can't find it. It's in one of the defrag movies, where, okay, it'll be my time to do paint here. Oh, flashbang. So the one I'm thinking of is even clear contour. I don't even know how to do this shit. There we go. So there's these 3 boxes and the path goes through, right? And you basically slide along this way, and you have to, while you're doing jumps, because that's the fun thing about it. So there's these platforms and stuff, and the person goes through, and then 90-degree turns, and then does the bang, bang, bang. You have to like time the shots, and it is, I believe there, it's just with the machine gun, so it's hit scan, right? I think there's someone with the rockets as well. They don't have inheritance, it doesn't matter. So come along and just go pop, 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 right? Now in our case, if it's the sniper, then it's probably only 2 pops because you need like the energy if you don't want to change the weapons. If you change it to a bullet weapon or use the railgun as is, would it be a lot closer because the railgun has its limited range. So I just want to have the unlimited range on it. Yeah. Yes, they did. Most defrag maps, especially the special ones where you were expected to have plasma riding, you would get the biosuit, which is basically invulnerability, right? So that's why I do want to have the invulnerability pickup, because it's just going to be easier than to require everyone to constantly pick up the health anyway. And exactly, if you have the health pickups, then it is fully determined by the map maker. You actually see a lot of the World Championship defrag vids that the optimized routes are away from any intended like health packs. The biosuit, the invulnerability, or no damage discs, whatever it might be, because the invulnerability is probably a catch-all, because you're probably not gonna run out of intended biosuit run for the guys optimizing your routes. You're never going to run out of invulnerability. So having that on a location on a timer is easier, because you then only force people to go to the biosuit and then continue on whatever doing. If you have the health packs, then they always have to return to the health packs or optimize through less damage, right? Yeah. Usually defrag is a one-stop shop, and then you make alterations down the road. But, because, yeah. But regardless, so. I have fixed my problem. Everyone rejoice. So now we have to get straight walls. I choose you. There we go. So I'll do this and I'll save this. Yeah. There we go. Sure, but that is something not for the map maker to decide, I think. Like, there will be skips. There will be those kind of things. But if you as the map maker have intended like a long area for rocket launcher stuff, then... So, back to paint. What you could do, and I've seen this happen as well for people who are not certain on what is going to happen to their map. Is there another cross? Well, use your imagination. This is now a health pack. And so imagine this being the first person view. And what they do is just... oh my god, paint, don't do this to me. Okay, paint is... Okay. You know what? My god, it's really not doing well, huh? So, just... I don't care anymore at this point. Just line the whole thing all the way around, so wherever you are on the wall, you will hit a health back kind of thing, right? Yeah, you wouldn't need... We're always gonna have less disc jumps. So it is a more calculated thing, and that could also be balanced by ammo and stuff, because you do keep a little bit of momentum. You do keep momentum on the walls. Unless you are a bastard map maker like me, and I specifically put pillars in the way, so you are forced to do a maneuver, right? So if you just get a solid wall, like here, this piece here, you know, there's no issue. You're not forced to do anything on this wall. You're just gonna keep your momentum. Yeah, we could also... So this is why I'm so excited, and this is why it's so important to have defrag in this game. We have so many freaking options, right? Quake was bound by its gravity and its movement, and then CPMA and whatever. We can do a lot. We can say, hey, you have your jetpack for this, you don't have your jetpack for this. And then you are forced to do the disc jumps. And we can then... And yeah, boost pads and stuff as well, but, you know, those are somewhat frowned upon because they might launch you. I mean, that makes it easier always, right? But if you say like, okay, there's no jetpack here, or no energy or whatever, then suddenly it becomes a disc jump thing, right? And then you do need the invulnerability, but then you have to keep your momentum that way, or at least... Because this is the thing. We're not forcing... This is very important for defrag. You're not forcing people to... How do I put it? The challenge itself doesn't matter. It is how fast you can do it. The simplest hallway already poses a challenge of speed. A simple, straight hallway, which I do want to make, but I wanted to do a thing and get it out of my brain. So regardless of where you make your difficulty, it's always going to come down to the skill of the player. If you say, this is now a hallway with jetpacks, then that's going to determine the speed. If it's the disc jumps, then it's going to determine that speed. It doesn't matter. It's how fast can someone do it. That is what the defrag is about. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think the invulnerability is for us, for gameplay wise, probably easier and more accepted than having to string along like health packs, which can be a different kind of challenge. But yeah. And same thing with vehicles, right? Because I do want there to be vehicle defrag as well, which will then slowly turn into Carmageddon, which is no problem to me. Okay, so now we're here, and now we can go back. Because, yes, I was doing a thing. You guys, see, this is why... Oh. Well, fuck me, I guess. I don't get that paste anymore. Oh, by the way, Dagada, you still here? The moment you say yes, I have to show you something. And it's gonna be really funny if it doesn't work anymore. Broadmageddon, yeah, dude. I am very ready of this just turning into Carmageddon. It's one of my favorite games ever, and it's one of the games that I wanted to like make a spiritual successor for like decades. It's definitely gonna take over at some point. This is gonna be shitty, isn't it? Yeah, because you're at the edge here. There. It's not very clean, but I'll take it. I don't have to go in the other direction, so I'll bump on the other. Yeah, that get it? Okay, great. Okay, so it doesn't work anymore. This is amazing. It did work, right? It did work. Now it doesn't anymore. I don't know why. This is exciting. So we're gonna figure it out. It worked for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how I made it work. Okay. Yeah, the lumberjack saw it happen. He saw it work. Okay, so because the loops work, that was fine. I don't know. Strange. What did I do? I went to duplicate. Right? No, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It worked. Because this is the things you can do with it. But now it's gone again. So strange. Yeah, it's gone. Oh well. It's I think it's just by your presence, Dagada. There is something metaphysical happening with you in Unreal, and I think it's spreading. I think that's the more logical explanation, I think. More reasonable explanation. Well, Trackmania does have power-ups. They're boosters, right? They have their, what is it, reactor that you can, like, you suddenly have air control. Air control, by the way, is definitely still a conversation we're gonna have to have, because I do feel like we've talked about it before, right? Yeah, there's no winning on this one. I'm just gonna pretend that's fine. Probably does deflect you, doesn't it? I do want some more air control on the laterals at not at high speeds, right? But at medium speeds. Because I feel like we're too fast, we become a rocket that you can't do anything with. Okay, yeah, so you are gonna deflect on this side. Oh, because there might be no next time, y'all. This works. That's nice. And you do stick to the rounded corners. This one's gonna deflect you. Don't like that. Don't love that. Probably gonna hide it with a pillar. That's fine. It's like a rechargey booster. So basically the Trackmania things are... They have different types of tracks. So you've got asphalt, plastic, which is like weirdly grippy or something. They've got like dirt tracks. They have ice, which guess what that does. And then they have certain checkpoints where if you touch the track there, either it slows you down, it boosts you, or it gives you momentary air control, like super lateral jets kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff that they put on the tracks since the early days to enhance things. And also Trackmania has like crazy stick on the walls as well, right? The grip on the tracks is insane. So they have loop-de-loops and stuff with no issue. But of course, yeah. That's 6 DOF. So I don't know if you want that. Look! 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 It's back! I don't know why! Look! I can select the vertices! I can do it! Look! I can extrude things! Look! I can inset and do things. Look, it's here. See? It exists. And it does it on all the assets, by the way. It's immediate editing of the asset itself, not a copy. But it works. See? I'm not insane. See? If I deselect it, and this, wait, and it's gone. And it's gone. Here, I can do it with this one. This is fine. Not this one. Not these, not these. Just this one. Wait. There's a theory forming in my head. No. Huh. So this and that. I thought it might be an unsaved thing. Wait, but these are still in this folder. This is still in the generated folder. Can I do it with this guy? No, doesn't work. Still this guy though? This guy's fine. This one, I can do that. Yeah, no. That's cool. Not this guy. Mysteries. You looked away? Yeah, there you go. It's only for this one though. Yeah. So you see, now I can't turn it fucking, go away. I don't need it. And if I turn it back on, it's still here. Okay, great. So if I am here and I turn it off, then on again. No, okay. Waste of fucking time. I don't need this. Okay, great. I don't need any of this. Why am I off the grid? Yeah, so that's gonna be a thing because these aren't on the grid and these are. So I'm just gonna live with it. Okay, so we're back on track. I'm actually going to do something useful now because I do hate this. I do hate this like tremendously. It's because I've scaled this one up like a bit much, right? So these guys are off as well, huh? That work better? Not exactly, but whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna deal with it. That's wonderful. Overlapping. Can they deal with it? Alright, come on. Boop. What is that, Gizmo? Why are you like this? There we go. That still overlaps. I don't care. Just gonna push you down one. So it stops flickering. That is what we're doing here. Okay, great. So now we are back on track. We are back on track. We have straight panels that we don't have to worry about anymore. And we're not doing that again. Okay, so vroom. Little bit of speed here. So obviously what we are going to do here, I'm feeling the 90-degree turn, kinda. Let's try and do that. Put that guy there. This guy a little offset here, so we still need another wall. Just another brick in the wall, even. There we go, so we even that out. That's good enough. And then we actually are on the grid again properly. He said, filled with confidence, even though that's a lie. There we go, now that's fine. Good. And this one needs to be good. When do we start? So that's already a wall, isn't it? Yeah. So that should be no problem. Why are you being a bitch? Why is that? Are you not on the grid? He is not. Okay. Because I was fucking around with him. Not to be taken out of context. Okay, so we're gonna maybe do a 50 here. Still fucking around with this guy. I don't like it. Fine. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Okay. Let's give him some speed. Some heights. And then what are we gonna do? Whatever shall I do? Actually, it should be underneath. We're going for a dive. I think. More space. Okay. Do it. Okay. I think that's enough. Still want to fix this. That's so awful. Definitely one to the bottom. Roughly there. Okay. Hooray, we've got 20 seconds out of it. This one again. You changed the angle to like 10 degrees earlier? What are you talking about? For the wall riding? In case, yes indeed. Height? Yeah. Yeah. All of our prospective helpers. I'll be honest, I haven't contacted that one guy. Oh, I won't mention his name yet, because I haven't had time or felt like it. Both. But I need to, like, poke. I need to poke a lot of people. I keep poking people. I am a serial poker. It's incredible. Should join a tournament or something. So I'm giving no quarry whatsoever here, right? I'm not giving like a run-up or anything like that. I might widen it on the end though. That might be apropos. If I use the 16 block here. Blomp. It's a big block. You like big blocks, yes. Because here, afterwards, we're doing other things, right? So. And I don't need this. And I'm gonna put it a little bit after. Yeah, that's just sneaky enough. Now we're going to copy a thing. So all of these places are fucking massive, right? So this is a biosuit thing. Where you get insane amounts of speed. And it's not about failing it, it's just about how fast can you do it. Pick 2 power-ups, simple jump, grenade launcher, rocket, and double up. And here's the megas, so that's the string of megas. Because this is without a biosuit. To then do insane things like that. I should not have that on with the fucking music. I just realized I'm gonna get fucking DMCA. Oh well. Demonetized. GG's. Yeah. So we go here, we go there. I am gonna put some newbie brakes on there. Let me grab these guys. I don't know how big I need them to be. Need that many actually? Just the one. Swap you out. There. Speed lines. Let's go back this. I am being quiet, yes, because I need to think. No, it's fine. Okay, I'll narrate what I'm thinking here. So I want a larger room here, but because of predetermined speed and the speed you can get here, and I wonder, like, if I want to have Oh, this is bothering me to high hands, by the way. This is... So, go in here, grab this. So you want to be... Maybe I want to make this a little bit more narrow, actually. A little bit less forgiving. Want to be here. Probably want to jump, so I want to have a pillar in the way probably as well. But regardless, you go through here, come in here, and then what? So you come to a larger room. And that's why I was watching the Celestia video. What do we want to do? Because we want to have an exit point in this room, but it can be a straight line, right? Or we just make it a straight up, like, wall ride jetpack course, and it's all about speed and not finesse, let's say, right? So how hard or easy do I want to make this? I was thinking I would, because I did make it bigger. There were two options. Either I make this a very flat and narrow place, which I might like more, actually. Very flat, because we've had a little bit of opening. And then this, I think this is close enough. I don't need the pillars, I think. So even if we go here. If we're doing this, it's still, you need a little bit, especially if you're going faster, and it really is a test of the wall ride, right? So, because if I start here, I'll bounce off. It's not, it's quite difficult to do that in stride. Well, it would be easy, but you would have obstacles, right? So you don't have a straight line through. You'd have to dodge things still, going upwards. So, yeah, hitting that is not... Like, I'm, of course, not fully trying here, but I want to see how... If you do this, you could probably jump a little sooner and land that as well. The fact that it's, let's say, got that finesse already is a good sign, right? It's probably easier to do it this way than that way, then land it, right? But of course, it's not the most difficult thing in the world. So yeah, this side's probably better. And then you need the jets because you're still falling quite a bit. Yeah, so it's non-trivial, but it's, you know, it's still on the easy side of defrag stuff compared to whatever the hell fucking Quake made people do, right? Yeah, so that's good. Because that is the thing we're trying to fix here, right? That Quake was, you could only play defrag if you were already a beginning, let's say, journeyman in Quake movement, right? A normal noob running around would never even get to defrag. So giving these tools to allow that kind of movement to happen without having to study the fucking blade for 10 years. That's kind of what we're doing here with defrag. And that's what I want for this game as well, to have a very big defrag component where that movement can thrive. Should have called it thrives. But yeah. Thrive 3. We've got ourselves a new game type, a new game, and we call it Thrive. God. So yeah. Yes. So I will allow the run up to be big, but then I'm gonna close it off. That's what we're gonna do. Yes. Is this big block? Yes, we are going to need big block again. So, because we're gonna allow the entry. Thrive Revengeance? Yes, yes indeed. It is not copyright, it's just a speech impediment. Why did I need a big block? Because I still need just a roof here, right? Yes. I just need a roof here still. Okay. Big block is later. There we go. And of course, now I have a big block every time I want people to mention it. Okay. There we go. That is also not 100% great, but okay. And do I want to be a bitch? I do. I do want to be a bitch. So we are going to grab you. Do this. But I actually only need... I mean... Is this going to be high enough? Yeah, it's going to be high enough. That's fine. Put you on there. There. And then I want this to go down. Not the full, because that's 2. That's a bit much. No, we want this guy. See? It's nice to have these made earlier. It makes me feel oh so professional. Yes. And we are going to put these down. Are we? What do I need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. What an awful number. What have you done? Because I do want that transition effect to fully work, but it's fine. This is the wall. This is the floor. Do we want it? No, because then it'll be 5. That's even worse. Don't like 5. And there. Und. Like that. Yes. Could have just grabbed all 3 of them. I am fully aware of that. Okay, because this is still pretty high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's still 6 high. So that's great. And now we're going to make a bit of a playground here. You can already hear the drum and bass starting up. So this is 6. So I could... Because I've got 4s. I don't have 6s, right? Or is this... Are you a 6? You're not, but... Me. It's better than the full length, I guess. So what does this feel like? Because this is where I want to use these. Mwahaha. Yes. It was here all along. Now I need to make sure. Didn't make this too fucking big. Ah, shite. So we're gonna move all of this back. Crap. Okay. I should have known. I should have known those alien bastards would have the sub. Anyway, so you go. Let's see how much room we need. Kinda need this, right? Kinda need a lot more. Eesh. Urtal. Wow, that fits almost like I planned it. Okay, so fine. Then we just extend this one more. There we go. Years. That's 4, and that's 4. Oh my god, it fits. Alright. Totally planned. Okay. Let's do the woof. Could have done more at the time, but there we go. Boom. Alrighty. Pillars. Definitely need pillars. Here. Watcha. Because the one thing that is very important about defrag is that, in essence, this is an exercise in map making and making things pretty. I am incapable of such things, but I am aware of it. So I try my best. I do try my best. What am I doing here? You go this way. You know what? No, I have no idea what you're about to say, LJ. I absolutely... Thanks, though, because that was the 100th message of the day, chat. So thank you. That is important for my statistics for when I become a world-famous streamer. But you know, you do realize why I don't actually use textures at this point. Because these fucking blocks are actually still relevant to me. Right? I do texture. I would love if somebody else were to texture, because I don't have the brain for it. Even though I'm technically now the art director as well. In terms of texturing and all that. I mean, we need better ones, to be sure. But, yeah. Oh, I love when that happens. And you miss the alt. See? When you miss the fucking gizmo, I did it wrong. Fuck. Eh. Yeah. Do you know what the name is? Like where it is situated? By the way, it does... This could be your flag stand. There's still a flag stand, a frag strand. A frag stand, yes. There will be fragging. I want to try. So that is already 2. So on this... Vroom. Do it that way. Nobody's ever gonna look at this, but... This is ugly. Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, let's not do that. We just curve the corner. It's in the mover examples folder. I was thinking... Yeah. I mean, this is already fucking big, by the way. These are highway scales we're using here, right? This is already mucho bigo. Don't be fooled. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna use these, but that's aesthetics. That did not work. So I guess it's this guy. That did not work either. Fine, I'll flip it myself. There we go. Yeah, here's the guy for context. Right? Remember, we are 2 squares high. Okay? 2 squares high. So, we're always going fast. Speed makes things... This as well. That's not big? Okay, man. Listen. See, I'm already becoming a Twitch streamer with the kind of humor I was thinking of. 10 times bigger? Oh, okay, like that. I get you. So like... Arc Raiders level... Yeah, this is probably gonna need to be like twice as big. I need to feel the speed! I saw this poking out. Heresy. Just gonna push you down there, feller. There we are. Okay. So now comes a very interesting element here. Grab a use. Nope. One here. What the fuck? 90 degrees is fine. So it's just gonna be. Oh, how big are you, dude? It's already halved. That's great. So 5. Hey, there you go. That's a cute little guy. Let's actually. Oh yeah. Let's not do that. Why I want 5. Bonk. 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 That's fine. Yeah, that works to fuck things up. Maybe a little flatter. Yeah, that's enough to fuck things up. Let's put you at the start of each of these. Like so. Can we do the whole pattern thing? I don't know how to use this. So are you going to... Wait. Emit a separate actor for each pattern. How do I... Nani? Okay. Line. Oh, yeah. A y-axis. Okay. That's the amount. Why is that such a stupid... No, not centered. Okay, that's good. I'm learning. So we, because definitely don't want anyone using these. I might, you know, count step size. That's a cool effect. Not going to be using that. Step size 100. It would be 1,600 to be correct. That's good enough. You're back on the wall, sir? Yeah. Just enough to fuck your wall writing every once in a while. Perfect. So separate actors. And I wonder if this does mean if it's just distribution or it actually changed the whole thing. Okay, no. So these, and you aren't different. Okay, you're just the mesh. Okay, great. Hey! Oh yeah, that's the original. You can go. That was about as much work as doing it manually. But now we tried. Okay. Okay, they overlap. Great. Zoop. Wunderbar. Okay. So now we want to do things. We've got 6 to work with, so we can really squeeze this shit out. I want smaller versions of this guy to be in here. Let's also start with 25. I think. Sure. I'm just gonna put this shit in randomly. Also put it on the roof. Turn around. Stick it to the walls. Have little platforms and stuff. And walls. Because this fills the whole thing, right? Yeah. So we don't want that. We want these. So you can still, I think you can still skip these, right? Also I have to make another wall type. Ooh, that's a tight fucking squeeze. That's maybe no great. No, I need definitely, ooh. Yeah, okay. I want the flatter ones. 4 is too much. Okay. I do want 2 blocks. So let's just make them. I'm not gonna switch things here, so we're going with 800, 400, then 2. Fine. And I'm going to name you after this thing. So that is XYZ. So it's exactly the same. But the Z is 2. And I'm going to already... That's the wrong button. Is it? Oh. Okay. This isn't a good block to have, and then we can... I'm not gonna make different platforms or anything like that. Just gonna spread the love. See what comes out of it. Maybe I do want, just gonna duplicate. And I'm gonna make it do a bigger one. 4. Accept. I have a plan. just gonna do it. I don't care about your height as much. Radius. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8 by 2. So 4. That's too much, so it's 3. Yeah, that should be fine. Beyond 32 is fine too. All right. Yep. Except you're in there. Good. Probably want you to be tilted. 10. A, B. Nah. No. Straight up. Corner it. Nothing too fancy. Oh yeah, there's one thing I needed to do before that. Yeah. I have learned. It's already 2 pieces, which is great. That way. Okay, so it can be a little contained. AB. There we go. Move you. And we can line cut. Flip. Accept. Pivot. Accept. Duplicate. Flip X. I mean, I could keep it this way. Keep this around. All right. Group Q, copy. There we go. Put it here. Replace U2 there. And then we have this guy. We grab this guy. Put it back to 1. Maybe half him. Do it this way. Off, off, off. Right, and then W again, like so. A thing. What a thing. I'll put you on the front. All right. So you still have some recourse. And if you grab one of these and then maybe 5 of them, and you get a deflector like that. Get rid of you. Put you there. And then like this guy. Put you back on 1. Because the last thing we want people to do is move forwards. Okay, now gonna make things even more difficult for myself. Yep. Because we are going to try and simulate some terrain. And some pitfalls. And this is the hardest thing for me. Because for cube grid, this would be a cinch. Making it out of actual meshes is a lot more tedious. Doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, it is playable currently, to say it's with a bit of snark. It is very much playable. It's just that we're at the point where we have basically what was there before, right? And in order for us to actually have a game worth playing in current year, there's a lot of people who are nostalgic for the old games. Even outside of the active community right now. Yeah. There was a recent Reddit post, for instance, where people are going like, "Oh my God, Rise, we remember." And yes, the sentiment is there. There's still a lot of knowledge of people who were kids when TA was around and those kind of things. But nobody, I believe, is ready. Yeah, that too, mechanically, right? But nobody's ready to play this game again. And nobody who hasn't known tribes is going to be able to learn it. That's one of the key things. That's why this is my focus on the defrag thing. Because we need to teach people the fundamentals again. Right? And that is not easy. So, see, with Cube Grid, I could just, like, cut a fucking piece off of this corner, and it would be nothing. Now I'm using meshes. And that's different. So let's learn how to do that properly. So this needs to be a corner. Can I just say, hey, I'm just gonna use Cube Grid and do 8 by 8, right? And do, see, 9. That's annoying. Yeah, that's exactly it. Tribes was ahead of its time. A lot of games took from it, reduced it, became Battlefield and Halo, but nobody ever went further along the path of Tribes. Even, you know, a certain developer that will not be mentioned only reduced, never added. And now we have an onboarding issue, right? So why is this 9? Why is this bit 9? Because I've got the floor on top of it, right? You know what? That's fine. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick with the 4. Do it this way. Yeah, don't do the math. It only hurts you. So let's see what happens. If I do this, I still keep this. And I want to block there. Like so. Keep you. Okay. Yeah, but that's Yeah, well, we've had this conversation a lot, Daggett, of course. And I know you're just replying. Um, it is perfectly possible. We were playing this game for fun and not competitively or anything like that. But there needs to be the ability of discovery, of learning. And that is something that is lost because nobody plays these games anymore. So, yeah. I just wanted to pit like that. You don't need to look at the back because nobody is ever doing that, but well, we can still round it off, right? That's fine. And it's going into this project, that was one of the key things that I think everybody agreed upon, was that making the game won't be enough. That will be the start. And I hope everyone still involved is still very much aware of that and willing to accept that reality, because yes, we can make a game that makes the tribes community happy. We already basically have that. But that's not what we're here to do. I don't understand this thing. No, okay, now it's on the Z, fine. I know why it is, but it's still annoying. And then just turn this off for a second. You as well. And just do one step beyond. Yeah. There we go. So that was rather painful. Can we maybe... I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Zoop. Is that 180? Is that what it's gonna be? Oh, no. It isn't quite that, because this is never gonna line up. No, because this is pseudo 90, right? Yeah, no, bad idea. Also not on the grid. Okay. Yeah, for now this is just seeing what's gonna stick. So I can put you there. There. Actually, having a little offset would be that cute or just awful. Yeah. Yeah. There. Yeah. One. I don't know what I'm doing with this guy. Don't even know if this area is gonna be worth it. It's just because the idea probably is that you either jump that way or jump that way. Try to catch some air, maybe the edge of this, to turn, and then have places to go off of that are always forward. This is more of an aesthetic thing, because I do want maybe another thing here as well. Let's move you. Again, like defrag is, there's so much aesthetic work as well, as you want to be traveling through these places, right? What are you? You're the edge of that. Okay, that's perfect. So we want like maybe this here. Oh my god. How am I so missing? Holy fuck. Can I just plow here and have no problems? Yes, good. There's okay, fine. 1, 2. And that's still inside, that's good. Dude, a Roblox version, with the kind of bullshit we've had with our movement, I don't think that game is calculated for that kind of shit. Like, we've had so much bollocks going on with our movement sets. It's incredible. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Is this right? It's not exactly 100% correct, but it'll do. Still want this. I like that. Yeah, these are just pitfalls, right? They're fancy pitfalls, that's what they are. Still glad I'm getting a little faster at all of this. Because damn it. There's a reason why I stopped playing Satisfactory. Because I suddenly realized that what I was doing was just placing assets. I'm like, wait, fuck. I could, instead of playing Satisfactory, I could be working on Broadside. And it became like a nagging thing in my brain. It's like, if you could have put these assets on the tribes map. Fucking idiot. Yeah, I still want to go there. I'm gonna move this. Like, I do like the idea of making these things that are meant to be skipped for like 90%. Wait, is these two is just one, right? Yeah, this is 16, I guess. So it could just be a big one. Yeah. Yeah. But then the gap is gone. Right. That's why I had that, right? So 2, 1. I needed the gap there. Ya moron. This is maybe best why I don't stream all the time. But yeah. But whereas Dagada is the pessimist and the one who hates tribes more than anything in the world. Hahaha. I am trying to be the eternal optimist because I've never had a project come this far. So Anything beyond this is fucking gravy. That's too high. Do I have a lower one? I don't. So... Burp. The very idea of tribes disgusts Bagada to a point where he just starts foaming at the mouth. That and Unreal Engine, so he's really just a glutton for torture. A glutton for punishment is the word, yeah. It's too much. I removed too much. I want this here. So it can be 90%, yes. Oh boy. Jawohl. Okay, now we can delete these and put this instead. This is the funniest thing though. Like the simplest thing to do in trench broom and whatever suddenly becomes the hardest thing. I'm guessing our meshes are certainly not optimized. And if any map designer who is professional or at least, you know, a hobbyist or whatever sees me struggle like this and thinks, my god, they are doomed, you would be correct. And we would appreciate all the help we could get. But we're not working with standard things. We are basically remaking a lot of Quake assets and try to bring it all together. The first time in many a yonk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a joke there, but I don't know what it is. So that's a hole that I can't easily plug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. It was, I mean, wasn't a surprise, but when a person who joined our project recently and then also already left because he realized it was a bit beyond him, we were playtesting during the scrum and then, excuse me, how do I ski? Ah yes. The combination of frictionless movement and jetpacks. The very utter basic thing. Oh no. So yeah. What was this? This is 700. Why is it 700? What have I done? So you, if I cheat, do this, do that, do that, do that. Yeah, well, the irony, right? This is a mess. This is always going to be a mess. So the irony is that in my mind, and correctly so, jetpacks and skiing allow for Quake-like movement without mechanical skill requirements. Because you press the button. But of course, you need to understand which buttons to press. That's one too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. No? Okay. I'm just gonna do this. And Yeah. Eight by 7 pillar floor. There we go. Yeah. For, let's call it open air landscape based, I have a lot of archetypes in mind and a lot of things. For this map in particular, it is nothing more than my first attempt at a defrag map, just to try and get all the elements together. Because I do have plans for very simple ones in tutorial modes and all that, so very easy things, but my brain doesn't allow me to do that. So I have to make the hard thing first. So I'm gonna try and get a feeling, a template, what defrag might look like. And it is very difficult. Not just because I'm a shitty map designer, but because you have to take into account the jetpacks and the skiing and all these things. So just because as much as I like the concept of extreme ski, we need to also combine our wall riding and the general quake feel, because I don't know, great BMD, how familiar you are with defrag, with quake time trial and parkour stuff, but the issue there is that you could only fly like these guys did with, I'm gonna mute it this time, with a tremendous sickening amount of mechanical skill, and a lot of the finesse in the map designs for that only became true at the highest level, and we're talking at some point a few dozen players, right? Just to be able to navigate this. And we need to make sure that our defrag is more like Trackmania, but Trackmania also has these kind of maps. It starts very simple and then goes into ridiculous, and then Trackmania has the same problem with the bug slides and stuff, where you have to, basically you have the equivalent of quake movement, of strafe jumping and circle jumping in Trackmania, where certain high level maps become impossible unless you have the mechanical skill, and that Trackmania has a bit bigger, it has a couple of big streamers and stuff, is a bit more active. What you want to do here is we have the jetpacks and the skiing, which are buttons to press. There is no inherent mechanical skill to it, right? You have, it's a knowledge thing. You can learn by simply, like, okay, you have the jetpack, you know, you have the lateral jets. I like tangent. I'd like them to do this more when going fast. Then you have the skiing, okay, and the combination of, suddenly you have the movement. If you, but look at what I've had to do, right? Because look at that, I'm doing the defrag map with one hand, right? I'm just, ta-da. Now that isn't the issue, because that's what we were talking about earlier as well. That isn't the problem, you're just going to be slow as fuck, right? You're going to be bad at the game, and you're not going to have a great time. It's with the combination of these things that you are going to be able to do that. And that's kind of, yeah, fucked up already. What I'm trying to explore is, what does that look like for us? Because a lot of these things are, of course, trivial. If I can just, and there you go, I bumped into something. If you can just run through these right? That can never be the optimal thing to do. Just going straight cannot be optimal. And with that, that is what I'm exploring here, right? That's why you've got these pillars, because they will deflect you and ruin your wall ride. So that is the objective here, is to, by making something that we can use for testing, I discover some things that we can do, some concepts. Because I've studied many a defrag map, and I know the things they do, but we need to apply that to the whole thing. See, those are little dodges that I'm doing. I'm forcing myself to do that, but that's the result I want. I want you to bounce off, take this, take a slide, and do things, right? That's my optimal thing. That's what I want to see. I have to force that. Right? It's even like the reverse of this map would be interesting. Like I'm gonna go like that. Going back. And that's why you need to play your own maps. That dip, that is a diabolical thing. Because I need to go down and then make sure that I drop enough. That's a good one, right? That's already difficult. Because, yeah, that's good. Actually, can I make this? Hang on. Sorry. Map maker got distracted for a moment. Oh, I get a bump? Why do I get a bump? Oh my god. Really? It's because of the offset. Can I stand on this? Shit. This is ADHD at work, guys. Okay. Yeah, that bumps. That's not good. No. I had a fun thought, and now it goes ruined because these fuckers. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shrink these. There we go. Do we have a problem? Because it sounded like we had a problem there for a moment. Alright. Good. So, I want to do this jump. There we go. I did bump into this, but that's fine. Yeah, it's... defrag has excited me, has fascinated me for years. I was never good enough. I was barely good enough to do competitive duels. I worked a lot in casting and stuff, and I still think to this day that Quake Deathmatch, which if you don't know Quake, actually this is a good question. Like, I'll answer it the moment I pose it, but you can post it in the chat if you want. Like, are you aware of the complexity of just Quake basic duel? Like, just shooting dudes, right? Because that's one of the death pits of Quake. That's why it faded. Because it could not be an evergreen like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is shooting dudes, positioning, a little bit of economy, team play, yeah? And of course the nades. The nades are, I think, the biggest mechanical complexity. But Counter-Strike survives. Quake does not. Unreal does not. Right? Unreal had different mechanical issues with the dodging and stuff that nobody really liked to do, I think. But Quake's complexity, not just the movement, right? Not just the circle jumping, Not the strafing, all those things, nothing like that. The complexity of Quake was that it is one of the most complex and mind-bogglingly difficult in terms of game knowledge, game modes, because of the weapons and... Alright, there you go. So, Quake is based on armors, right? Armors and weapon spawns everywhere. So, what you do... Do I still have them here? I do. You've got your pickups on the map. Your weapons and everything you collect. There is armor that reduces damage to you, right? You've got yellow and red armor, and it basically, I think in Quake Live, it's just based... It used to be different, but doesn't matter. You get a fixed damage reduction to your health. And you have the mega health, right? That gives you more health. So you are increasing your stack of your health pool, which also ticks down, right? Those are on locations. The mega health and the biggest armor are, of course, on a long timer. Now, if you're just playing free-for-all and just shooting dudes, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, there's an armor, let's pick it up. But then you get the real nerds. And the real nerds are starting to say, oh, wait a minute. That armor respawns in 25 seconds. So I want to be here every 25 seconds to pick it up, because it increases my survivability, and the amount of shots you take is different. In Quake, everyone is equal. But if you take the armor, you take more shots to kill. So players of equivalent skill will take... If you have 50 armor more than me and we are of equal skill, I will always lose. So, you want to increase your stack. You also want your weapons because, oh, I need the railgun, I need the rocket launcher. So you start routing around the map, timing, and knowing in 25 seconds I need to be there. I know my opponent just took the mega health. That's going to be back in a minute. You start routing around. I know he took the armor. I heard that. So I'm going to take the other one. And now I know the timing because you are an insane player and start memorizing all of these things. Mega health up. If the mega health and the red armor spawn at the same time, you can never have both. So you need to make sure they sync up. That you can grab that one and make it to the other one before that other one spawns. So your opponent never gets a chance. Your opponent is now out of control. That's the term, control play. He is out of control of the timings. So what he needs to do is try and whittle you down. Start using the railgun and whatever and positional rockets to try and chip off that stack so it stays from the maximum. Because the moment there is a big enough stack disparity, he's gonna come for your ass. And you need to start running. Quake is not a game about shooting the other guy. It's about either dodging or hunting the other guy. And balancing that. Because if you screw up and you miss one of those timings, your opponent has a big pickup, suddenly the stacks are equal, and the fight can happen. And then it's down to skill, not just your positioning, timing, and whatever. None of this is ever described in the game. This was discovered by players. This was created by the elements of the game being there. If you are a guy who just started playing the game and you just got kind of to grips with the movement, which because you're flying through, and are then confronted with the concept of control, GG's, goodbye, good luck. Because this is why a better player will always win in Quake. When you are only one little skill threshold away from each other, there is no way for you to win unless your opponent screws up. Not by your action, only by mistakes of your opponent can you win. And that's why most Quake games end up with, that aren't of equal skill, end up with like 15 to -1, because at some point you're gonna crater yourself after being hit by a rocket. That is Quake. Not just shooting the guy. And that's what killed it, because you had to have a strange, very strange brain in order to even want to do stuff like that. And I did for a while. I onboarded people when Reflex and other games were out in 2016ish. There were a lot of arena shooters, revivals arriving, but they all had the same issue. They grandfathered all of that Quake knowledge because it is the peak of fucking esports. Okay, to see those finals, to see fucking Quake. I mean, if you are even a little bit interested, there is I mean, this is probably the 2016 QuakeCon Finals, Rafa and Evil. I think that's a good one. I'll just drop that in there. If you haven't watched that, even if you understand very little, that is probably the highest fucking mass of Quake. That is Eucharisty of Quake. And a fine example of it. The amount of skill displayed there, the timings, the mind games. It's insane. So yeah. Haven't watched that. You need to watch that. That's why I want to recreate that in Broadside as well. But without the mechanical skill and hopefully the onboarding with that the game tells you how to actually play it. Because that is, as I like to say, non-trivial. Very much so. My camera moving again? Okay. But yeah. That was a long time ago already. 10 years. But yeah. That's honestly another example. Fortnite building. They removed that from the mode. They suddenly had other things and they removed the building aspect, or at least simplified it, because it was a learned skill. And they saw that it was impacting the new players. New players were not willing to learn all of that bullshit. Because so I remember watching like Ninja stream or something and then just see like a guy just build an entire tower in 10 seconds flat. If you are a new player, a 12-year-old or something coming online for the first time and you see that happen, it was a natural thing that was learned. And then the good players knew how to do it. Bad ones didn't. So there's a gap. And the game doesn't explain it to you. There's no tutorials for it. Very difficult to make a tutorial at all for that kind of thing. So they removed it. They made a queue without it because they knew it was going to kill the game otherwise. Which would have been the right call. So this is a deflection wall. I'm going to put this here. So yeah, again, I've been the idea guy for quite some time. Yeah, exactly, Dagda. It's, unironically, I never played Fortnite because I have a grudge against it killing, I held a grudge for a really long time because it killed, I don't even remember. It killed Unreal 4. Right? Because I was starting to get involved in that. That was around the same time, I think, right? Support for Quake 4 for Unreal 4 dropped because of Fortnite. So, and the whole, because that's one of the most painful things about it, is that we were promised like full community support. Like basically the community, but because that was the launch game for Unreal Engine 4 at the time. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and the community is involved. Like all the community stuff, yeah, man, that's gonna be in there. And so about that, they basically at some point said, you know what, we're gonna do this Fortnite thing now because apparently that's going viral. So GG's, and you guys can do whatever. Like, huh? Yeah. Unreal 4 is now yours. Congratulations. Huh. So just do it yourself, will you? And a lot of people tried, but then of course the wind was out of the sails because I'm a little iffy on the details, but I think the timing for Unreal Tournament 4, Fortnite, and then Quake Champions was pretty close. And Quake Champions then completely killed whatever was left, right? That was like, oh yeah, no. That murdered it pretty quick. That murdered it pretty fucking quick. Honestly, Apex and Titanfall are funny to me because they were always like this close, right? They just need to fully implement momentum, but then you still have the hit scan weapons. Or at least, I wouldn't say just hit scan, but just bullet projectile weapons. The moment you unlock movement, momentum, and you're still relying on those weapons, you get split gate, right? There's a reason why you need rocket launchers and big projectile weapons in a game like that. Because otherwise it's just click man in sky, right? Which Tribe Ascend fully understood at some point after we fucking screamed. Because remember, I don't know if you know this, if you were around for it, but Tribe Ascend Alpha into closed beta had fully functional hit scan weapons at any range. Because the oh yeah, no. Like hopefully they will never see this on my giant stream. But Apex is like a rounding error away from being a Tribes game. So, but that's the thing. That's the whole point. That's why we're here. That's why we have to do this. That's why Broadside needs to be a thing, because you need to bring all of those elements back together and not suck. That last part, we'll look into it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this. I can't do it! I can't leave it, Baron! I have to make things. That will, however, be all she wrote for today. Because I just got a message. I have to go to places and be... Well, it's still family season and all that, so... gonna do this. Because I can't allow, even though nobody's ever gonna see it, and it's gonna be completely irrelevant. There we go. It's rounded now. Corners are rounded. And not suck. Yeah. I mean, we already... Listen, if I had modelers, we could be in, like, pre-alpha release at this point, I think. We have ball mode, sport modes, we're basically there with CTF. The vehicles still need a lot of design work. But our deathmatch, we could have had deathmatch running, like, for half a year if I had modelers. But yeah. See, this is hard enough. Like, you can absent-mindedly run into it. I mean, you could do this. Oh. But what was the fun in that? Because for that, yeah. It's hard to thread the needle here and be faster, I think. I don't know. So I can still do this. So I need places for us to speed up. I need these little curves. Probably need some straight walls. So you can wall jump and gain speed. Yeah, I always want to go straight here. So I'm just putting shit together here. Is this even worth it at some point? Like, going here. That's never gonna be a thing. Okay. That said, that was 3 hours. I need to get some food in me. So, for a minute 25 years ago. Yeah. That's kind of the problem I have as well. I think maybe Daggett away. I want to try something. Yep. Daggett away. It works. Not on this one. Not on that one, but on certain things it does work. That one as well. Look at that. No flat surfaces. Oh, you're here? Yeah, it doesn't work anymore now. See? So on this one it does. That one it doesn't. That one it does. Works there. Doesn't work there. Works on that one. Right. On that bombshell, thanks for watching, everyone. Good night. I'm gonna... I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. New Year's Eve. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, slow progress. GG's, bye-byes. Let me do the professional outro thing. Those were ramps meant to send you into the ceiling. These guys? I mean, I could do a thing where the ceiling goes up. It's mostly I'm just throwing shit in here to see if I can find a pattern, and so you're not just going like in a straight line through this. Actually forced to do things. I probably need to make compartments, but yeah. Happy New Year if you don't see it. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. We'll see. On that note, GG's, bye-byes, see you around. than a professional thing.